All right, is my mic on? Are we ready to go? I think we are. Hello again, everybody. It's Rich Herrera. Thanks for joining us. Rich Herrera Radio Show begins right now. Hope everybody's having a good day. I know I am. Oh, boy. We've got a really, really good program planned for you today. And I got a really good program planned for you tomorrow. Tomorrow on the program, we are going to have an exclusive extended interview with Umar Ballo. Had a chance to sit down with Umar. We're editing up. We'll have that for you tomorrow. I'll give you a little insight on that. And, David, we might even be able to sneak like a little preview, right?
We might be able to sneak a little preview in there.
Maybe, just maybe. But I got a chance to sit down with Umar Ballo, and we talked about everything under the sun. We talked about his upbringing. We talked about him leaving home as a young child. Just a baby. I think he was 13 years old when he left Mali to go to the Canary Islands in Spain. Didn't know how to communicate, didn't know Spanish, had to learn how to speak all the different languages that he's had to learn in his journey to bring him to Tucson. It is fascinating. So we're going to really get a chance to introduce you to Umar Ballo coming up on Wildcat Wednesday tomorrow. So I look forward to that. Today, we got a lot to get to on the program. Roxy Bernstein will join us in just a little bit. Roxy, of course, will be calling the Pac-12 baseball tournament along with J.B. Long on Pac-12 Network. Arizona plays their first game tomorrow. 9 a.m. We'll have that ball game for you right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So he joins us. It's our last visit before summer vacation with Dave Hickey, Athletic Director, University of Arizona. So that's coming up on the program today as well. And we'll see if we can get you a little taste, just a little taste of our conversation with Umar Ballo if Dragon Ball says that's okay. If that's okay with you, Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we can go ahead and we can work on that to see if it's okay.
And by the way, for those of you that watch our stream, new improvements every day to the stream, including the Dragon Ball cam, which is now in HD. That, folks, is a little scary.
I will say that the HDification of this camera, we can just describe it as it's not looking through a pane of glass anymore.
No, it was looking through a double pane of glass with light reflecting off of it and monitors reflecting off of it. You look like a ghost.
It was a little bit jarring. It's a little bit brighter than what it probably needed to be, but
well, you look like a ghost inside the haunted mansion at Disneyland.
You're saying I looked like Ultimate Warrior when he was in the glass looking at Hulk Hogan.
No, I said you look like a ghost from the haunted mansion. That's what you look like. Now, I don't know if this is better or worse. Now we can actually see you in your full glory. I mean, listen, your grandma's going to love it because I'm sure your grandma complained a little bit. Nanny's like, Mijo, I like you guys on YouTube, but Mijo, why is your camera so bad?
And we told her that it was just with the
So she did say that.
Well, no, she was wondering, like, what's up with the camera? It looked like it's staring through a window. It's like it is staring through a window.
So
we don't have the
Nanny wasn't
cables
happy.
to do that. No, she was fine with it. She was just concerned. It was like,
Mijo,
are you doing well? Or
Mijo,
you look a little pale.
Mijo,
like,
why
no.
is your camera not as good as Rich's?
Well, that was an easy enough answer. It's like, well, because Rich is the host.
Mijo, you're very important on that show, Mijo. You need to have your own camera. I'm sure she was like telling you, you go tell that cheapskate to get you a better camera.
All I do is
I bet
hit
she
the
called
button.
me cheap.
She didn't call you cheap.
I bet she called me cheap. I bet she said, Mijo, you tell that cheapskate to go get you a camera as good as his.
No,
I'm going to hit him with my slipper.
She knows you're not a cheapskate because we're going to a reasonably priced meal. Or I'm taking you to a reasonably priced meal.
Yeah, by the way, I went to my mailbox to find my gift card. It was empty.
Yep. Still empty.
Still empty. Anyway, so if you want to watch our stream, Dragon Ball has his own camera in his studio, and now we can actually see what you do.
We can see it. It's going to be very, very boring for people focusing on the Dragon Ball cam. It's going to be a lot of back and forth moving between one screen, two screen, red screen, blue screen. It's just going to be a lot of that.
It's basically, well,
it's a tennis match.
No, we've actually lost ground. You know, we were right there with that science camera on the ant farm for the little kids in school.
Yeah.
We've actually fallen below Buzz Jackson's bird cam.
Oh, Buzz Jackson has a bird cam.
He's got a couple birds in his backyard that laid eggs, and he's got a camera on it. And I think we've fallen below that now that Dragon Ball has his own camera.
I was wondering why he was coming in with feathers every day.
Yeah. So now we're going to have to work harder because now we can actually see you up close and personal, and it's a little scary.
Yeah, a little scary.
All right. What else are we going to do on the program today? We're going to talk a lot of Arizona. We're going to talk with Roxy Bernstein. I said about the Pac-12 baseball tournament. Dave Hickey stops by, and a whole cast of other thousands might appear on the program as well. So let's do this. How about we just get to what's rattling around my big old head right now?
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Cro-Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
100%. That's a huge noggin with its own weather system. Look at the size of this dome. I wear a size 8 hat. What size do you wear?
Let me go ahead and check here for you.
You got a pinhead.
We're looking at it just says a large, an X Grande.
Yeah, you're nowhere near my size 8 dome. You're probably like 7 1/4, maybe.
I might be a 6.
No, 6 is tiny. Like 5-year-olds have size 6. You're like a size. You're probably like 7 1/8, 7 1/4. That's normal size.
Okay.
For somebody's cabeza. Mine, big old size 8. You don't have to find. Somebody showed me. There's one of the managers at Whiskey Roads when I went in there last week for happy hour.
Oh yeah.
He can't wear snapback caps because his head's so big. You know, you get
the snapbacks he can't wear?
No, because his head's too big. I can't wear snapback caps because my head's too big. They don't fit.
Isn't that the whole point of the snapback, though, is that you can adjust it in the back?
Right, and it doesn't adjust big enough.
Oh, wow.
For my dome.
That's a little brutal.
That's brutal.
That's a little brutal.
He actually showed me he got a snapback extender. So he actually found it on Amazon, a snapback extender. So I bought some so I can now wear snapback caps for the first time in my entire life. It's going to change my world. All right, what else is going to change my world? What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, hey, it's a step in the right direction for the people with the big noggin,
with the big head. If you have a head my size, this is groundbreaking that I can now wear a snapback cap. I could go to the University of Arizona bookstore. I can look at the caps and go, oh man, I wish I could have that cap, but they don't have my size. Now I can walk into any hat store. I can walk into Lids in the mall, and I can find a cap that'll fit my head. Mind blowing. All right, what else is rattling around in my head today? Let's go Warriors. Warriors could close out tonight in their Game 4 against the Dallas Mavericks. So I'm excited. Nobody's ever come back from a 3-0 margin. Nobody's ever come back after being down 3-0. Teams have extended them to a Game 7, but nobody's ever won a series in the history of the National Basketball Association after being down 3-0. So what I'm trying to figure out right now is how much do I bet tonight on the Golden State Warriors? They're plus 1.5, and they're even money as we speak. I think the Warriors win tonight, but how much should I bet tonight? How comfortable should I be? Do I go $100 tonight?
I would tell you that.
Do I go $250 tonight? Do I go big and just go all in of all my money that I won during the football season?
Here's the thing, Rich. You know what?
I'll tell you right now, I got $650 in my account. Do I go all in on the Warriors tonight, even money to beat the Mavs?
I would say no. And the reason why I say no is...
No, and I just did.
Oh, you already did?
No, I got the button. I was about to push it, but tell me why I shouldn't.
Just because I got to quote one of the greatest managers in fictional baseball history.
But I got a hunch he's due.
I got a hunch they're due.
What hunch would you say they're due? The Warriors have outplayed them the entire game. I know they're playing at home.
This playoff has been absolutely awful in regards to teams maintaining
See, now
their...
you made me drop my drink because I'm just ready to push and bet $675.38.
Stop crying over spilt beer.
Granted, it's not, but it's water. But needless to say, the teams in the NBA playoffs have been awful at maintaining this level of consistency.
But
they're due for a bad...
You're a championship team if you're the Golden State Warriors. You're now the favorites to win everything because the Celtics and the Heat are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Mavs haven't shown up to play. Yeah, Luka scores 40 every night, but it's been all about the dubs.
But you got to remember, this was also a team that was also having their Jekyll and Hyde moments against Memphis. What was it?
They put that all behind them. Stop.
Have they? We don't know yet. We're waiting for them to have that game.
I'm closing my app. I'm not ready to do this yet. Now, if they win tonight, and I could have made money,
I'm telling you right now, there's no way that this is going to end in a clean sweep. This is going to be a gentleman's sweep. They're going to finish it in Golden State.
Are you just saying that because you lost?
No. I'm saying this in that something in my gut tells me that this will go at least 5 games, whether it be because of Luka's.
What do you want to bet? All right. Come on, put your money where your mouth is.
I'm not going to put money down on any of this.
Put your money where your mouth is,
big mouth.
No, because you've already lost to me. You've never won a bet versus me in your life, have you?
I feel like there was at least one.
I don't think you've won a bet since we started working together.
There was at least one, but I don't recall what it was, and that's what I'm going to stick with.
You haven't won.
So
here's what I got for you. I'll hold off on throwing in my $675.38 tonight just because now you've jinxed me. But I'll bet you the Warriors win tonight and finish them off, sweep them in 4. What do you want to bet?
I'll admit that I was wrong on tomorrow's show.
Please, you're wrong every day on the show. What else can you give me today?
I don't know what else I could possibly get. A taco.
How about we bet a taco? A single taco.
A single taco.
I'm not asking for a lot. You pick a place.
Okay.
Roberto's, Nico's.
Okay, fine. If we're gonna just bet a single taco,
heck, I'll even go Del Taco or Taco Bell with you.
Okay.
A single taco.
In that case, then fine. We'll bet a single taco. But
do you want a taqueria taco or do you want a fast food taco?
Fast food taco is fine.
Okay, so we'll bet a Taco Bell taco.
Okay.
Because that's closest to the Del Taco. There's only one Del Taco I know of that's over near campus.
That's fine.
So there's a Taco Bell reasonably close to the studios. So I'll bet you one Taco Bell taco. How much are they? Like 89 cents?
Something like that. I know that the burritos are like $1 or something.
Why can't we make tacos 50 cents again in America?
There's a lot of reasons.
Make tacos 50 cents again. Ooh, and if I get it tomorrow, it'll be Taco Tuesday, so it'll be even cheaper.
No, today is Taco Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
It is?
Yes, today's Tuesday. We're talking with Dave Hickey, remember?
Darn. All right, so we'll bet a taco tomorrow on the game. Do you want straight up, or do you want the Warriors plus a point and a half?
Just the game.
We'll go money line, straight up.
I'm only saying that this is going to go to game 5. So I would just say just the winner.
Okay, we're just going straight up.
A
single taco for tomorrow. Are you going to bring it in time for the show?
I'll bring it in time for the show.
No, because if you get it, then you'll get it at like 11 a.m. and you'll deliver it to me about 3 and it'll be cold.
I can't promise the taco will be hot.
This is the things that rattle around in my head. You realize we'll go order lunch at like noon, and it's 5:30, and he's still eating his lunch, and it's ice cold, and I have to watch that every day. It's disgusting.
Matter of fact, I've still got my sandwich right over here.
Show us your. Here, I'll put you on the Dragon Ball
I don't know if I can because, again, we can't do logo shots, right?
I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
Show us what you still have. What is that?
I've still got the entirety of my Firehouse sub that I ordered at 12 o'clock, and I have not touched it yet.
And you haven't touched it. And you're going to eat that later.
Say again?
And you're going to eat that today.
I'm going to eat that.
And it's been sitting at room temperature so far for 3 hours.
To me, again, this is what you got to do if you want to get a whole day's work of
Dude, I ran through, got Chinese food, scarfed it down in 5 minutes, and I was back to work.
I'm not you, Rich. I got a lot more stuff going on here. But yes, the Warriors could clinch it tonight.
The Warriors will clinch it tonight, and you're going to owe me a taco.
I'm telling you right now, I don't think this ends in 4. I think they take game 4 and they make it to at least a 5-game series. I'm not saying they do the reverse sweep. And in no way am I saying that, just so we're clear, and this is on the record. I am saying that they at least extend the series one more game because I got a hunch that they're due, to quote Lou Brown. I got a feeling they're due, quote Lou Brown.
We'll see what happens. Arizona football. Over-unders come out by FanDuel for the season. Arizona has the worst over-under for total wins in the Pacific 12 Conference. Arizona is picked. Arizona's line, according to FanDuel's, for over-under wins is 2.5 games. FanDuel says, you know what? I don't think the Cats will win 3 games this year.
Are they not also tied with Colorado in that? Does Colorado also have a 2.5?
I think Colorado was just a smidge better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
2.5. 2.5.
Because I know Colorado's going to struggle this year.
So is Arizona State, but Arizona State, I think it was 4.5. Are you going to put your money on Arizona having 2 or more wins? Or do you think they're going to lose that many games this season?
It's so bizarre because in college football this can't happen because I would just, to be a smart aleck, I would say, I'm going to go for the push. I think they're going to finish with 2 wins and a tie. You can't do that in college.
You can't do that.
Thankfully, you can't do that in college.
Listen,
I think they at least get 3.
We'll walk through and see where they get the 3 wins. I'll tell you what, though. If Arizona doesn't get the 3 wins, there's going to be some angry folks around here in Tucson, even worse. There could be some folks that just give up and start watching basketball, which is the worst thing in the world that could happen to this football program. Cats ready for the Pac-12 tournament baseball-wise. Gets going tomorrow. Gets going tomorrow at 9 a.m. Roxy Bernstein will join us in just a little bit. He'll be calling some of the games on Pac-12 Network. Arizona will take on Oregon in the first game. If they win, they play 4:45 on Thursday. They lose. They go into the losers bracket, and they'll play at 9 a.m. on Thursday. So we'll get a little preview of that. Super Regionals getting going. Mississippi State will be the host of the University of Arizona Best of 3 for the chance for Caitlin Lowe to send the Cats back to OKC. NFL thinking about dumping the Pro Bowl. Yay! Oh, this just in. The thing I hate the most, I loathe this part of the Super Bowl.
Oh.
The halftime show. The Pepsi halftime show, I loathe. It's the biggest waste of time. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. It's stupid. Who was halftime entertainment last year?
It was a collection of
old rappers.
Well, it was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem. There's a whole 50 Cent was there for a song.
Who else is? Once a decade you get a good halftime show. Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars was pretty good. I would say The Weeknd was not that bad.
The Weeknd was stupid.
I like The Weeknd.
The Weeknd should have been a short weekend, not a 3-day weekend. Katy Perry was okay.
That was the first and only time the Lions have been in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. So Pepsi has renewed their sponsorship deal with the National Football League, but they've not renewed their partnership for the halftime show. Pepsi, thank you. I'm going to go drink a Pepsi today.
Who's to say that this is going to end up being like the RC Cola's halftime show?
I don't know. Who should you? You should have sponsor it, Pepto-Bismol. Imodium.
Oh.
Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, come on. It's never that bad.
Really?
It's not. It's never as bad as people complain about it. I think it's
dumb.
Fun.
It's dumb. It's lame. You can only go so far, and then the expectations get so high, you've reached your stratosphere, and everything else is just gonna.
For me, I enjoyed the idea that I finally got to figure out, okay, so Bruce Springsteen is still going, isn't he?
They should just have Kiss as the halftime show every year. I'd be happy with that. We'll talk about that coming up with the program. And, by the way, they just had the awards for the Father of the Year.
Oh, did they?
The last weekend.
Did they?
Some event. I saw it. I should be Father of the Year.
Oh.
I don't know why I wasn't named Father of the Year.
Okay.
I should be Dad of the Year. You want to know the sacrifice I'm making today?
What is your credentials here for this award?
My criteria for this award, how I earned it today? You know what's playing right now?
It's the early showing of Top Gun, is it not?
Yes. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this movie to come out?
We have been mentioning that you've been waiting many months.
And you know where I am right now?
You're here.
And you know what I'm not doing?
You're not seeing Top Gun.
I'm making that sacrifice to not see Top Gun because I asked my son, I said, hey, mijo, can I go see Top Gun without you? And he goes, yeah, if you want to be that kind of dad. Oh! So instead of, I would have taken the day off work. I would have called in sick to go see Top Gun today.
And you didn't?
I would have given you a syringe of some kind of mutated something to make you sick so you couldn't work today. Then I could have the day off.
Wait a minute. Why do I gotta get sick? Why do I gotta get sick?
I'd have somebody kiss you on the lips with the flu.
You've got like 2 or 3 other people that know how to work this board. You could just call in and say you're not gonna do the show. Why do I gotta get sick?
I would pay somebody with the flu to kiss you.
Oh no.
To give you the flu so I could get the day off. That's how much I would want to go.
You would rather me be sick rather than you just call out.
Well, I've got a reputation to fill.
Well, then you're as dumb as you are stupid.
That's unbelievable.
I would have someone kiss you on the lips, Dragon Ball, and give you the flu. Don't tell your girlfriend I said that. But I would have someone kiss you on the lips to give you the flu in order for me to take the day off to go see Top Gun. That's how bad. Those are the type of sacrifices I would make to see Top Gun today.
I regret one time I came in here, I was beat up with allergies. I had taken a Benadryl when I came into work. I came in because I knew you needed me on this board. I regret that now. I regret that wholeheartedly.
But again, I did not do that. I didn't get
No,
you
but
sick.
I know that that's a thought you've had now.
Oh, you should think. Don't listen. I'm telling you, this segment is the most dangerous segment of radio. Do you really want to know what's rattling around in this big old head of mine?
I'd love to know.
Okay, I'll give you one. This is not mine, but this is just a friend of mine told me this. He played in the National Football League.
Oh boy.
And he said, you know what I've often wondered? He goes, I always think about this. When I see little old ladies walking, they're kind of hunched over and they maybe have a cane or a walker. Mm-hmm. What would happen if I got a 20-yard head start and just speared them?
Considering that this is the thought process of a defensive player, I may know who you're talking about.
No, you don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
No, it's nobody that works here with us. It's somebody I worked with in the past.
Right.
But
that's what I mean.
This is evil. I guess sometimes I sit and think about if there's a little old lady walking across the street, if I put my helmet and pads on and I got a 20-yard start, how far would she fly? How brittle would she be?
We here at 1290 do not condone that thought or that logic.
We
do not condone
We do not condone spearing little old ladies walking across the street. I'm just saying, you never know what's going to rattle around in this.
We're not going to Goldberg little old ladies in the crosswalk here, okay? Not doing that.
But now, next time you see a little old lady in the crosswalk, you're going to think about it, aren't you?
No.
That thought will never leave your head.
I'm going to imagine you doing that to somebody.
That thought is now going viral, and next time you see a little old lady, you're going to think that.
That's bad. That's real bad.
Just saying.
I'm glad that's the last thing that's rattling off in your brain today, or is there more?
No, that's it for today. Coming up with the program. Were you listening to Jim Rome today?
I wasn't able to catch him this morning, no.
Oh, he was talking about Alan Shipnuck, who we had on last week for our exclusive interview.
Right.
He told the best story. I'm going to share with you this Jim Rome story. I wondered about this because when I watched Justin Thomas win the PGA, I saw something going on between him and the caddy. Rome talked about it. I'm going to talk about that and tell you the story next. I'm Rich Rivera. That's the Dragon Ball. He's got a whole new cam, everybody. In fact, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see him in full HD. Smile at everybody. You know what that means now, don't you?
What does that mean?
You actually have to iron your shirt before you come to work.
Okay, that's going to be a tough one.
Your grandma. In fact, I'm waiting for your grandma to text to go, Mijo, why is your shirt all wrinkled? If you want to check it out, we're at Wildcats 1290 Facebook YouTube, and you can watch on our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Look, his shirt's all wrinkled. Or is it supposed to be wrinkled?
It's supposed to be wrinkled. It's fashionable that way.
We'll continue. It's 1290.
Rich Herrera. Exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. We picked up reported collisions of Valencia and Midvale Park, Nogales Highway and Aerospace Parkway, that's a hit-and-run wreck. Oracle and Fort Lowell, that collision affecting traffic on Fort Lowell on the east side of Oracle. Sunrise Drive and Pontotoc, westbound I-10 frontage road at the Marana exit. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio and 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews, and you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
Kevin O'Connell, the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Is this the longest the interviewer has gone with you without bringing up the name Sean McVay?
It's about 10 minutes longer than anyone else has gone. So you absolutely, you get the credit for that, but, couldn't say anything but wonderful things about him as a leader over the last couple of years. Absolutely the most impact on me and why I'm sitting in the chair I am today.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
When it comes to getting a really great pre-owned vehicle, you may have a lot of questions. If so, you're in luck, because O'Reilly Used Cars has the answer. If you're looking for a previously loved vehicle that has been thoroughly inspected, meets your needs, and is priced to take home right now, you can start at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or see us in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, where you can find new roads and great deals. O'Reilly Used Cars, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Listen up, people. Your first bet with Caesar Sportsbook is risk-free, up to $1,100. Download the app and use promo code RADIOCZR and then place your first bet. If you win, congrats. But if not, you'll get your wager back as a free bet. Must be 21 and physically present in Arizona.
I'm kind of mesmerized by the new Dragon Ball cam.
Oh, come on. It's not that great, is it? It's not shining.
It's in high def. Look how big your head is.
I mean, it is pretty big, to be completely honest. It fills out like the whole screen now.
Right. This is actually looking like a professional broadcast now.
Rather than it being the entire room, now it is just my entire head.
Right. We tried to do that for mine, but my head's too big and it just takes the whole screen.
Right. And then we need to show the phone number and stuff like that for folks watching us live on YouTube and all of our other platforms that we have here.
Today's program brought to you in part by PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. Listen, do not be that guy. You know the guy I'm talking about? The guy who says, oh, what would you like for Father's Day, or what would you like for your birthday? Oh, nothing, honey, I'm fine. And then when you get nothing, you complain like nobody even cares. That's your fault. If your family asks you what you want for your birthday or what you want for Father's Day, and you say, oh, nothing. Oh, a card would be good. And then they give you a card and there's nothing in it. And you're like, what a ripoff. Don't be that guy. When they ask you, what do you want for Father's Day? You tell them, I want you to go to PGA Tour Superstore. I want you to get me a dozen golf balls. I want you to get me, I need a new golf glove. I want you to get me a new pair of golf shoes. You know what I really love? Is a new golf bag. They're all available at PGA Tour Superstore. It's the biggest selection, widest variety in Southern Arizona. It has everything from a golf professional to a duffer like me, and they'll take care of everybody. They even have PGA instruction inside the store, custom club fitting. You can try out the club before you take it home. They've got so many golf shirts, so many different makers: Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour, Puma, Barstool Sports, Black Clover. You need a new golf hat? They've got them all. Shoes: Nike, Adidas, Echo, Puma, New Balance, Skechers, and the brand new MG Force. Those things are sweet. So if this Father's Day or for your birthday you get a card with nothing in it, then that's your fault. Take my advice. Tell them, listen, kids, I love you. Tell your mom, go to PGA Tour Superstore. They're located in Oracle and Limberlost. In fact, tell your mom she can save money by mentioning Wildcats Radio 1290 or mentioning this radio show. She can save money by mentioning the radio station, the radio show, my buddy Rich Herrera, and they'll hook you up $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250. Restrictions do apply. Ping, Titleist, FootJoy, not included in this promotion. Everything else, they'll take care of you for Father's Day. And if you don't do it, that's your fault. PGA Tour Superstore, Oracle, and Limberlost. All right, do I have time for this story real quick before we talk to Roxy?
Yes, we do.
You sure I'm good?
You got a couple minutes there.
All right, so I was listening to Rome today, and he was talking about Alan Shipnuck, who we had on 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
2 weeks ago. He did.
It was the week before the PGAs.
Right. So we had him on 2 weeks ago. So again, why do you want to listen to the Rich Herrera show? You know what? Every once in a while, I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat. We had Alan Shipnuck, who wrote the blockbuster book, the best-selling book, the book that has sent Phil Mickelson into hiding. He came on with us before anybody else in radio. We had him before Rome. We had him before Dan Patrick. We had him before everybody. He basically told us what a questionable character Phil Mickelson is. Well, Rome told the story. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the last hole of the PGA Championship?
The on the playoff.
Yeah, when JT won.
Yeah,
I thought I saw something weird. I've seen it before, but it never really dawned on me. After Justin Thomas wins the third hole for the playoff, did you see what they did with the stick? With the flag on the 18th green?
No, I didn't see that.
His caddy took the flag and put it in his golf bag. Like, I've seen that before, but I never really paid attention to it. It was just odd. It was just a camera angle that caught him. I think it was Justin might have done it himself. Put the golf flag, put the stick in his bag. I thought that was kind of weird. Okay, cool. I guess, because you're going to take the flag home. I didn't realize this until Rome told the story today, that it's customary that the winning caddy gets the flag to take home as a souvenir.
Oh, okay.
So the winning caddy is going to get a percentage. I think it's 10% of the earnings.
Right, yeah.
So the winner got $2.7 million, so he gets 10% of that for carrying the bag. He'll probably get a little extra for the effort, a little something for the effort. Gunga La Gunga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that's from?
Remind me.
No. Not going to tell you. Gunga La Gunga. Gunga La Gunga. Can't believe you don't know what that means.
I don't know.
So anyway, he gets the $2.7 million. He gets the Wanamaker Trophy. He gets all the endorsements. He gets the big check. This is Rome telling you this. But it's customary that the caddy gets the flag. Now, Justin's caddy had been Phil Mickelson's caddy, and then they got into a nasty divorce. Well, Rome was telling the story, and this comes out of Alan's book, that supposedly the two broke up, and the caddy said, that's it, I'm done with these PGA players. Justin Thomas, please come caddy for me. And he really kept Justin in this thing and really was responsible in a large part for this win. The reason he broke up with Phil Mickelson was Mickelson never gave him the flags.
For any of the wins?
For any of the wins.
Oh, wow.
Mickelson, it's kind of a tradition. Okay, it's a silly tradition, but it's a tradition. Caddy gets the pin.
Most traditions are silly, but there are some that you have to honor for the sake of enjoying it.
I told you when we had Alan on, the term winner, chicken dinner is a tradition amongst caddies that if your guy wins, the next week you have to buy a chicken dinner. You have to take all the rest of the caddies during your little traveling party out to dinner.
Right, you said that.
Winner, chicken dinner means, you know what, on our next tour stop on that Wednesday, I'm taking everybody out for chicken dinner. I don't know if they do chicken dinners, but he just takes them out because caddies they don't get used to the courtesy cars, right? They don't get hotel rooms, and sometimes if your guy's struggling, you're going 5 or 6 guys in a Motel 6.
Yeah.
And, the players get dry cleaning and food, and they put out a spread. The caddies aren't allowed into the clubhouse. They're treated like indentured servants, if you will. They're treated like laborers. They don't provide them dinner. They don't provide them lunch. They don't provide them anything. And if you're a caddy with a brand new guy who's barely making it on tour, a lot of times you're responsible to get yourself to the next city. Now, if you're with a top golfer and he's got his own jet, I'm sure he gives you a ride, helps you a little bit. But for struggling caddies, that's kind of the way it's been before. And that's from Alan's book, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, who, if you're a golf fan, came out about 20 years ago. But it is one of the best golf books you'll ever read in your life about the tour. So, the story goes is that Phil Mickelson would never give Bones the flag, and his excuse was, "Well, I want to give the flags for my I think it was his grandfather to put up in his kitchen, or something like that." And then the grandfather passes away, and he still doesn't keep giving him flags. But the big thing was, and Rome talked about this morning, is that Mickelson, if you didn't hear this on the Rome show, Mickelson owed his caddy $900 large.
Oh, no.
$900,000 is he was in the rears.
Oh,
that he owed the caddy and just hadn't paid him and never gave him the flags. So Phil, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to quit, man. You owe me money. These aren't tips. This is actual your earnings. Work in my bag." For Phil Mickelson. These aren't tips. This is
okay. So this is what he was supposed to have paid to him.
What he owes him in salary for work in the bag, 10% of your winnings.
Ay. That's bad.
So you know what he does? He pulls a Phoenix Coyote.
Oh, come on.
You know the Coyotes. You know why the Coyotes are playing at Arizona State's hockey arena? Because they only want to pay. They let it go into the rears, and they only pay a small percentage of what they really owe, pennies on the dollar. Phil Mickelson said, "Fine, I know I owe you this. Send him a check for $400,000. Hello, the bill was $900,000. Yeah, I sent you $4 million. You owe me $500,000. Yeah. And then, the story gets around that Mickelson never gave him the flags. So Mickelson sends him 3 flags for some big tournaments he won. And then Rome explained this. Then Mickelson had autographed them in a cartoonish way too big. It just takes away from the flag. It almost makes it look like a clown, like a joke. Unbelievable.
Brutal.
So now you know why I don't like Phil Mickelson. I dislike Phil Mickelson even more than I do the Dallas Cowboys.
And that says something. That says something.
Our friend Vicky listens to the program. She's called in before. She's mad because I was dumping on the Cowboys last night.
I saw her get after you online.
Yeah, I saw that. Vicky, I love you. You're the best. It's Phil Mickelson. There you go. I dislike somebody more than the Cowboys. All right, coming up next, we'll talk some Pac-12 with Roxy Bernstein.
This is David Amon, and here's what's trending on 1290 at 3:42. Putting together a strong year behind the plate, Arizona catcher Daniel Susac has officially been announced as a semifinalist for the 2022 Golden Spikes Award. The postseason run officially comes to an end for Arizona men's tennis team in the singles competition after Jonas Ziverts falls in 2 sets to August Holmgren from the University of San Diego. Remaining in Indianapolis, the NFL Combine will stay at its longtime home in Indy, going through the 2024 season after beating out Dallas and Los Angeles for hosting duties. And the asking price is reportedly very high for Lakers point guard Russell Westbrook, as the team reportedly is requesting a first-round draft pick for the 33-year-old former MVP. And that's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on The Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats Radio 1290, Rich Herrera with you. Don't forget, we're also streaming on Facebook and YouTube and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. We got to figure out how to get a guest camera, because I would love to see Roxy Bernstein in full effect at Scottsdale Stadium, but we'll just have him on the phone right now. He's our guest. He'll be calling the games on Pac-12 Network as we get ready for the first ever Pac-12 baseball tournament. Roxy, how are you?
See, that's your field education in a nutshell right there. You were redundant, Rich. When you said first ever, it's either first, but there's no first ever. It's like calling it a complete game shutout.
Yeah, exactly. Run, right? There's Pac-12 education.
It's the inaugural.
Yeah. There's Pac-12 education and then the rest of us.
Oh, but I'm excited, pumped to be here. This is going to be awesome. We've been pushing for this for a long time for the league, and it's going to help exposure-wise and opportunity for some teams to really bolster their resume. For example, like Oregon, this is a big weekend for them. But it's just going to be great to see this event and have the teams here. And I'm excited. That leaves the Big West. Rich is the lone holdout, the only league that doesn't have a postseason tournament.
Tell me why people are excited about this. For those that don't follow college baseball the way that you do and I do and other people, why is this such a big deal for the Pac-12 to get into the game this late?
I think it's the exposure is the big thing. And you can help with resumes and RPI because you're getting some quality games. And it also, I think, helps get teams ready for next week in the NCAA tournament. When you have this type of environment in terms of the double elimination format, very similar to what we're going to see next week. But it helps teams get ready for the postseason. And this is the postseason, but as far as the NCAA tournament goes. So I think that's a big thing, the exposure. And it's like basketball. You get everybody in one place for a weekend and watch some great baseball. Why wouldn't you want to be in Scottsdale if you like baseball and you're a Pac-12 fan?
Well, and the venue's gorgeous, right?
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Scottsdale Stadium, it's legendary. Spring training for years, the Giants. And look, it's going to be a little warm. And that's, for my San Francisco Bay Area bones might be a little sweaty this week, but,
No, it's a dry heat. We don't sweat down here.
Well, you want to tell me that right now and look at my shirt? Maybe it's a good thing I'm not on video so you can see that.
That's true. Roxy Bernstein, Pac-12 Network. He'll be calling the games. All right, tell me about the broadcast coverage that you will have. We'll have the game on tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on the radio. You guys will have it on television.
Yes, we're doing every game on Pac-12 Network up until the championship game. So tomorrow, the first two games, so the 9 a.m. game, which is the Cats in Oregon, and then at 12:45, the Stanford and ASU game. That'll be with J.B. Long and Ben Francisco. And then Kevin Stocker and I jump in, and we'll do the 4:45 game tomorrow, which is Oregon State and Washington, and the late game, which is Cal UCLA. So I'm on the late games tomorrow, the late games Thursday, and then the championship game, I'll have it on ESPN2 with Todd Walker. So it's going to be a great week of baseball, and just so competitive, Rich, and it's great that there's this energy and excitement about this event. You see what it's done for the SEC in Hoover, Alabama. Would you rather be in Hoover, Alabama, or Scottsdale, Arizona?
I think I'd rather be in Scottsdale than Hoover, Alabama. What's the feedback been from coaches, from players, being in something for the very first time?
there's excitement because of what the buzz this generates. And I think that they've been clamoring for this for a while, but for whatever reason, it never came to fruition. Now, it was supposed to happen a couple of years ago, but of course, COVID knocked that out like a lot of other things. And they decided to bring it back, not in 2021, but now they can have time to plan for it, prepare. And so I think that, coupled with the excitement from the players, and there's different approaches, I think, Rich, also for this week, right? When you look at specific teams, for example, you look at Stanford and Oregon State, I think it's nice if they win it. That's the way they're approaching it. It's not an end-all, we have to win this tournament, that they're worried about the following weekend and if they get through that, the regionals and getting to Omaha. So the mindset, I think, for Oregon State and Stanford is a little bit different because they're in a great spot as far as the NCAA selection committee goes. Arizona, UCLA, and Oregon are in. Oregon could be playing for a regional host bid, and UCLA and Arizona are playing for seed at this point. And then you look at teams which, for example, Washington comes in here. The Huskies have won 12 in a row. They're playing unbelievable baseball right now. And Cal's won 6 in a row, and Cal's out their opponents 82-16 during this recent run. So for those teams, for the three that are on the outside looking in, Cal, ASU, and Washington, this is still an opportunity to play your way into the NCAA tournament, get the automatic bid. So whoever wins this gets the automatic berth, even if Stanford is the conference champion.
And see, that's also what kind of scares me a little bit when you look at the teams in that second tier where Arizona is.
Yeah.
Somebody gets hot, wins a tournament that you didn't expect, you're going to be on the bubble.
Yeah, but I think, Rich, Arizona, RPI, and their success this year, they're fine. It's
right.
Just maybe a 2 or a 3 seed. And the same could be said. UCLA really helped themselves out. They were on the right side of the bubble, I think, going last week. But then they won 2 out of 3 at Oregon State, which solidified their spot. And Oregon's great weekend last weekend, that put them in a position now, I think, to be a regional host should they perform well this weekend. So I think the opportunity to possibly get a 6th team is also another intriguing factor this weekend here in Scottsdale.
What's the approach, pitching-wise? Arizona's going to go with an opener for the game coming up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. What's everybody else looking for? Are you trying to save some arms, save some innings? Do you let it all hang out? If you're one of the teams like Cal that needs to get in, what's their approach?
I think that the opener, or at least holding guys back, is the approach you're going to see the 5 teams that are in a good spot. That's going to be their approach to this week, right? With you mentioned the opener for Arizona. Like Alex Williams, who probably will be Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year from Stanford, will not start tomorrow. He'll probably go on Thursday. They'll keep him on rotation. The same can be said with Cooper Jerpy and Oregon State. So they have that luxury, and where they can do that. When you're Cal and Washington, you have to go for it. And from what I hear, Washington's going to start Jared Engman, who's the regular number 1 starter. And Cal's going to go with one of their frontline guys also, because they know the importance. And it's critical to win that first game because you blow through your pitching. If you lose your first game in this double elimination format and you're stuck coming back through the loser's bracket, like an NCAA tournament, it can really be challenging if you don't have the pitching depth. So that's why it's paramount for tomorrow for these teams to win their first game, considering that, okay, you go into the loser's bracket and it's awfully tough to come back through that.
You know, you look at this baseball tournament and you look at the coaches, you look at the players. Give me some names of some players that we're going to be hearing about come draft time and some of the stars that we're going to see in this tournament.
Well, Jacob Melton is probably going to be Pac-12 Player of the Year from Oregon State. He has just had a phenomenal season. Power bat, run plays center field as good as anybody. He's a guy to keep an eye on. Stanford, the way they're swinging the bat. Brock Jones had made a name for himself at the College World Series last year with Stanford, but he's hit 9 home runs in the last 12 games coming in here. And he is part of this onslaught where Stanford is like a plus 65. It's ridiculous, Rich. And their home run differential between homers hit and giving Brock Jones right now the leader in that. And also Carter Graham, their first baseman, is the Pac-12 home run leader. You look at Dylan Beavers for Cal, who could be a first-round draft pick, slugging outfielder who led the conference in homers last year, is second to Graham in home runs this year. He's a guy to keep an eye on. There's a lot of talent in this conference up and down. And one of my favorite players, actually, he's not one of the frontline guys when you look at it, but the catcher for Washington, is one of my favorite players to watch. Johnny Tincher. He's like a 5'8" catcher who's just all heart and guts. He's that dude, Rich, you want on your team. Like, he's not the best player. It's not the sexiest thing, but I don't know if anybody plays any harder, and he's just so fun to watch. He grinds out every at-bat, doesn't give anything away. And that's, I think, emblematic of the way Washington's playing right now. They're feeding off him, and that's a big reason why the Huskies fought their way into this tournament and have won 12 straight.
All right, so we got to talk about Arizona. What are your chances? What are your thoughts on Arizona going far into this tournament? Start with Oregon, and then depends on what happens in that next game. They can either play Arizona State in a morning game or advance to the winner's bracket. What are you looking for from the Cats?
I'm anxious to see how they bounce back after last weekend, having a rough weekend up in Eugene against the Ducks, where Oregon swept it. Now, look, the Saturday game, Rich, didn't mean anything, right? Both teams were solidified with their spot. Oregon was going to be the 4, Arizona was going to be the 5, so I'm throwing Saturday out. But I would expect a team that's re-energized coming in here, because I don't think they want to have that taste in their mouth linger for too much longer. So they come out here, especially against Oregon, a team that just swept them. There's going to be motivation on their side. So I expect an Arizona team to come out with energy and focus tomorrow. And they know that they can improve their stock this week. They need to. And I'm anxious to see how Chip Hale and David Long, as pitching coach, handle their pitching staff, as you alluded to, going with the opener. Then at what point do we see some of the other arms come into play, and how much does a team go for it tomorrow, knowing that you need to have pitching to last through the weekend?
All right. This is something that, again, I like the direction we're going for the conference. I like what George Kliavkoff is doing and where he's taking us and how he's pushing and how he's not going to just sit there and kind of let the conference be meandering the way it's been for a while. How do they turn this into the rock star event that the Pac-12 basketball tournament is?
Well, it's certainly different environments, right, in terms of Vegas. Scottsdale's an attractive place to be. It's a fun place to be, and it's word of mouth that's got to spread about how great this environment is to be a part of. And you know, once the first Pac-12 basketball tournament was in Vegas at the MGM, it just took off with the excitement and the spread of mouth. Like, that's the place you want to be.
Right.
And the same thing this week. You know, I know they looked at a number of venues to host this event, but you get a ballpark like this, why not take advantage of it? Being in Scottsdale, which is a legendary place to play baseball, and you think of all the great names that have come through here and how nice this place is and the money the Giants have invested in this facility. And I think that will spread. And, like, you know, word of mouth, people get back from coming to this first event going, oh, you really got to go check it out next year. And I would expect the excitement to build from year to year to really create a great event that we're going to have here for years to come.
We're talking with Roxy Bernstein right now. He'll be calling the games for Pac-12 Network. Again, Arizona plays 9 a.m. We'll have Brian Jeffries of the call here on 1290. They'll also have the games, every game of the tournament, right up to the finals on Pac-12 Network. And then, Roxy, you got the championship game on ESPN2 coming up on Sunday, correct?
Yep. Todd Walker and I will have it in a made-for-TV championship type of event. But the exposure to be on Sunday night with a lead-in of Sunday Night Baseball, to be on national television like that, I think it's a huge win to the league to get that type of exposure. And it's the last game of the regular college baseball season before selections are announced a week from today. So one last opportunity to make a statement in the committee for them to take notice, and it's a standalone game, I think, which even benefits the league even more.
I will tell you, just from this planning standpoint and talking to the people from the conference, it just seems like there's a different vibe to it, that they're invested in this. We've been running commercials for it. I've asked the Pac-12 in the past. I've asked the commissioner, the Pac-12, how can we help spread the word and the good news about the conference? This is one of the first times I've actually gotten feedback like, hey, Rich, can you help us spread the word? They're going to count from a lot of fans coming from Arizona State. But I was just impressed that that you see the direction the commissioner wants to take us to go out there and let's take on the rest of these Power 5 conferences toe-to-toe. I'm excited about it.
And I think that George Kliavkoff being proactive has been a big step forward for this conference, right? Look, Larry Scott had his detractors. He did a lot of great things for this league, but I know people were critical of some other stuff. But the one thing that I will say that's different is George Kliavkoff is aggressive in being proactive, getting the Pac-12 brand out there and leading the way. for example, with the announcement within the last couple of weeks of how the college football championship game for the league is going to go. No longer are we going to, the winner against the Pac-12 South against the winner of the Pac-12 North. We're now going to get the two best teams in the championship game. And so he is taking that step forward, which I would expect other leagues to follow. And, we've seen that previously where the Pac-12 kind of waited for other people to stick their foot in the pool before they jumped in, whether it was, with like when they had to cancel the basketball tournaments with COVID 2020, or when we were going to go back to playing college football. Pac-12 was the last power conference to jump in. And I think now with George Kliavkoff, there is a significant presence and an aggressiveness that we haven't seen in being the trendsetter. And I guarantee you there are other leagues going to follow suit to what George Kliavkoff has done with the football championship game.
Have you spent much time with him?
A little bit, not too much. Hopefully I will, but in the times I've been around him, Rich, he's been impressive, to say the least. The excitement, and I did some, when his name was floated out there, all of a sudden came to fruition that he was going to be the next commissioner of the league, reached out to some people who are familiar with him and have knowledge of him, and the excitement that people had telling you, you're going to love working with him. He's great. And so I think that momentum has been infectious, and the energy, the way he's transformed this league in the last year has been phenomenal.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, on a Tuesday. Also streaming on YouTube, Facebook Live, and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Every Tuesday during the season, we get an opportunity to sit down with the athletic director of the University of Arizona. Dave Hickey joins us, and this will be our final chat with him before summer break starts. I was on campus today. There are not a lot of people around McHale Center, as most of the student athletes have got an opportunity to go on and do what they're going to do this summer. Some will internships, some will go home for a little bit and then come back and train and get ready for the season. But some well-deserved rest for a lot of student athletes. Others, well, they keep grinding on, including baseball and softball. Let's welcome Dave Hickey to the program. Bear down, Dave. How are you?
Hey, go Cats. Bear down, Rich. Good to be with you. Yeah, we're still in the run of things. We still got a lot going on over here.
I was just talking with Roxy Bernstein, who you know from Pac-12 Network, and we were talking about this baseball tournament, and we were talking about our new commissioner in the leadership that we're getting from him. And in this baseball tournament's a perfect example. I know the baseball tournament has been in the works for a little bit. I was telling Roxy, this is one of the first times I had the conference reach out to me saying, hey, can you help spread the word? Can you help us get the word out for tickets? I've been really impressed with the whole planning and everything that's been going on, and I really feel this fresh start with the new head of our conference. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this Pac-12 baseball tournament and what it means for West Coast baseball.
Well, I think it's number one. I compliment our new commissioner, George Kliavkoff. He's doing an excellent job, just all the way across the board in all the different areas that our listeners and our fans would want him to be engaged in. He is. So kudos and compliments. I thoroughly enjoy working with George and the leadership team and all of our great staff at the Pac-12. We're in a good position. We've got a lot of road to hoe, a lot of field to plow, however you want to phrase it. We've got work to do, but have great confidence in the leadership. The baseball tournament, it has been a topic on and off for the last couple of years. And as you recall, we actually were going to institute it last year, but because of COVID, we stepped back. I think it's a great move for our conference. It provides us an opportunity to showcase the league at the end of the year through television, being engaged in conference tournaments when everyone else is. Sometimes we probably, in most cases, haven't, quote-unquote, needed it. That's always the challenge. Do you really need it? Would it bring in, get more people into the tournament, or do you have a potential for people to play their way out of the national tournament? So you try to gauge that. But very confident in all the statistical work that has been done and the analysis that has been done that this will be very beneficial to the Pac-12 on all levels. So we're looking forward to it, going into it as in the 4-5 game and an opportunity to play Oregon again. But I think it's going to be tremendous. I'm a big advocate. As you know, I'm a baseball guy, so I'm a little bit nerdy on it. But I really believe it's very good for our conference. And going forward, we will have a tournament on the softball side as well, which I think will be excellent for our league.
For a branding standpoint, from the Pacific 12 Conference, because we want to stay relevant amongst the Power 5 conferences, how important is this tournament? How do we build this up? I mean, scalable. I don't think this tournament will get to the level of the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament in Las Vegas, but scalable. We can turn this into a big-time event, can't we?
Absolutely. And, as I said, I fully believe that the University of Arizona and here in Tucson is the home of college baseball in the West. It is the destination place. We get, huge crowds and tremendous support. It is really a place like the Southeast where people come out in droves. But, that isn't the case in all of our institutions. But having the tournament, we can continue to build the brand of Pac-12 baseball, bring more attention to it in our different communities around the West, really have something to shoot for going forward at the end of the year to play for, to go to a destination spot where fans can kind of plan around it every year. And, that'll be good. And we're fortunate to be in Scottsdale. We've looked at other opportunities in other areas, and, they've been very, very generous and very outgoing, very supportive of the event. The city has been. as well as the Giants. It is the Giants spring training facility, so they're very enthused about it as well. So I think for the brand of college baseball in the West, it's great to have our Power 5 conference tournament going on. For the brand of our conference and the exposure nationally, certainly it will be on, and committee members will be watching it. Analysts, people very in tune with college baseball will be watching it as the field begins to be formatted, going to the tournament. It'll lead right into the selection show. Those are all good things.
In a selfish way, having in Scottsdale, having Chip Hale at High Corbett, I think this only brightens the spotlight that you can have on Arizona baseball. And then when we get to the softball tournament, same thing. They happen to have it down here. They happen, it's going to be in a Pac-12 footprint. Boy, you talk about the glamour team of softball. That's the Arizona Wildcats. It can only improve the image and the substance of not only the Pac-12, but our program here in Tucson as well, I would think.
Well, for sure. And I think postseason tournaments give you, and when you're playing in them, give you the opportunity to build, strengthen, grow your fan bases. Where fans can become engaged in championship-level games and really rally around the team late in the year. That leads into, there can be success there that leads into season ticket holders and fans, for the next season, the next years to come. So I think those are good for both sports as we continue to grow those. Again, I firmly believe that baseball and softball in the West are amongst the best, in the country. And maybe we've lost our luster just a little bit because of what most people would say, just lack of exposure. If you're not driving it, pushing it, putting it out there, the challenges with our time zone, people lose touch with our league a little bit. Can't take anything for granted. We've got to be out front pushing both our softball and baseball programs because these are programs, we invest in these to win national championships. And that'll be good for Arizona and for the rest of our league as well.
And as Roxy was saying, championship game is Sunday on ESPN2 nationally across the country. That's got to be something great just for us building and waving that shield of the Pac-12.
No question about it, to be on ESPN and the fans of college baseball and beyond. It's easy to just flip the channels and go across ESPN and see a ball game going on. You don't have to go find it somewhere. You don't have to stream it in some unusual way. It's on one of the big platforms, and our championship game will be there.
And for us, and we gave away some passes for the tournament already, and for Arizona Wildcat fans, I'm sure we're going to have a pretty big contingent of folks, of Arizona fans that live up in the valley, and I'm sure we're going to have a whole bunch of folks going on the further the Cats go from Tucson to get an opportunity to see Chip Hale's team play in the very first Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, it'll be great. It's very accessible for our fans and our alums in the Valley area, and easy for those in Tucson to shoot up there. Remember, 8 teams will be in the tournament. We'll play 4 games the first 2 days, starting tomorrow. We open the tournament with Oregon at 9 a.m. So, again, should be a great weather-wise. Won't be too hot. It should be a perfect time to watch a little bit of baseball. And then we move into a winner's game hopefully the next day, and we'll play later in the afternoon, early evening.
Hey, and by the way, we do get a little home field advantage. It'll be a little bit warmer here than they play in Oregon, and it's on grass and dirt instead of the turf they have up in Eugene. So hopefully all of that, plus Arizona fans taking over Scottsdale this week, it'll give the Wildcats a quote-unquote home field advantage playing up in Scottsdale. I wanted to move on to softball. I said this the other day, for all the haters that were just grousing, they can go kick rocks, because Arizona went into Columbia, Missouri, won that regional, and there is a clear-cut path to Oklahoma City. Listen, they're going to be tough down in Starksville, down in Mississippi State. That's going to be a tough venue to play. But those are games that if Arizona could take care of business 2 or 3, David, you could be going back to Oklahoma City.
No question. Really proud of our program. Proud of the strong leadership by Caitlin Lowe, our new head coach, but longtime assistant and a great player here. Transitions and changes come with their challenges, and thought we navigated through a whole bunch of stuff and got to the end of the year playing really good softball, and obviously came out, beat the number 15 team in the country in Missouri, an SEC team. It's amazing. We will go to our 16th Super Regional, 16 out of 17 years. It's only been in existence for 17 years. This program has been there 16 times of the new format that included the Super Regional. It's remarkable, but the kids played so well. Really proud of the effort and to work through that regional tournament with a lot of pressure too, and then win that last game 1-0. It's outstanding. And again, when you talk about brands and you talk about the brand of Pac-12 softball, there's a lot of talk like, well, the SEC and this and that. We had 7 teams that got into the tournament. 5 of them have moved on, the most of any conference in this country, and that speaks volumes about our league and how good it is. We'll have several of our teams that will go to Oklahoma City, and I'm really hopeful that we'll have a chance to be in Oklahoma City. We'll have to beat a good opponent. Mississippi State's really an outstanding program. It is their first ever Super Regional, so it brings in a little bit different dynamic. Remember, our kids were at Arkansas last year, beat a really good Arkansas team last year at a Super Regional on the road. So we know what to do, and our coaches are ready, and our kids are ready, and it should be a really, really fun opportunity to face off against a good team in Starkville.
And I love, Hannah Bowen showed up so big over the weekend, and Nets did as well. Then her brother is going to be the opener tomorrow for Arizona for baseball. So it's really fun watching this point of the season. And for Arizona Wildcat fans, they're used to going far in these tournaments, so the expectations are always right there. And good is the enemy of great. If you're not going to try to be great, then you'll never just reach being good. So I like the fact that there is pressure on them, and I like the fact that for Arizona softball and Arizona baseball this week, they're going to be able to take that pressure on, and this is what it means to be a Wildcat.
Well, that's what it means to wear the uniform. I always say you walk in with that on. The expectation is very high. We want to be successful. We want to go to championship, have opportunities to contend for championships and national championships, conference and national. We do. It's a powerful thing to walk in with that uniform on. And people go, "Ooh, Arizona's here." But you got to go out and play. You got to go out and play well, and you'll win games. The uniform alone just doesn't win the game. The name Arizona doesn't win the game. The games that we've won in the past don't win any games. We've got to go out and have a little bit of our swagger and go take care of business. And I thought our softball program did that this weekend. And it was very, very impressive in what they did. So after that, they flew right to Starkville. So they never came home. They've been on the road. It's an extended road trip, but one that could have some great results. If that happens, I think they may just go right on to Oklahoma City. So
I'd love that. You know what, Kaylin? You're the best. Love you. Love your family. Love your kids. Stay away for a little bit. Just stay on the road and head straight to Oklahoma City. Speaking of teams that really showed up strong, Jim Anderson's golf team, the Arizona men's golf team, will play in the national championship tournament in Scottsdale as well this weekend. I told Jim this on the air. What a monster rebound. I know they were disappointed in the results of the Pac-12 tournament after having such a strong regular season, but holy cow, did they bounce back in that Texas A&M regional. They'll also be featured in Scottsdale. So we'll have baseball and men's golf taking over Scottsdale this weekend.
Yeah, the men will start on Friday morning, teeing off at Greyhawk in Scottsdale. They just hosted the women's championships, too. They do that and host both the men's and the women's, and it should be a fun trip. You're right. I think we talked about this last week, Rich. Golf's a tough game sometimes, like a lot of sport. Didn't have our best couple of days at the Pac-12 tournament, finished well below our standards. No one was more disappointed than our players and our coaches, and they just rallied and just had an outstanding regional at Texas A&M, and started off with a low number and stayed right there and won the regional and off to the NCAA championships, and should be a fun weekend to watch them. And Jim's done an outstanding job, and again, it shows how competitive this league is in so many of these sports. There are outstanding teams in this conference.
So if you're a Wildcat fan, I've got 3 opportunities for you this weekend. You can watch the women. They'll be featured on ESPNU in the Super Regional down in Mississippi State. I have the baseball team in Scottsdale. We'll have all of those games here on 1290. They'll also be featured on Pac-12 Network, which you can see across the country. And then you're going to have the golf team featured as well as the national championship. it's a good weekend to be an Arizona Wildcat with a TV sitting somewhere in Scottsdale.
It sure is. I hope people can get a chance go out and watch some of it live, maybe travel down to Starkville, whatever it is. If not, tune in because it should be a great weekend. And not to mention, I know it's a little, but our track and field teams on both the men's and women's side are at the regionals right now. I'm trying to remember exactly where they are, but it might have been they went to Arkansas for that regional. So a lot going on, I'll tell you that. That's for sure.
They're at University of Arkansas, right? Fayetteville?
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. Where's Dave Hickey going to be this weekend?
Well, we were just talking about my travel schedule. I actually will be at the baseball game tomorrow morning. And then I have some commitment on Thursday in Phoenix. I will likely see the game if we have, our game on Thursday. We will have a game on Thursday for baseball. Then I'm going to be traveling to Starkville. Then I'm coming back for men's golf. So it's going to be a quick trip going all over the place.
Wow. We're talking to Dave Hickey. This is our final visit of the year. I have a goofy question for you, Dave. How many hats did you collect this year? Because I'm trying to think between everything that baseball's accomplished, softball's accomplished, men's and women's basketball. We've had a lot of championship hats that I've seen at the bookstore, McHale, and T-shirts. Talk about the highlights for you and the things that put the biggest smile on your face of the accomplishments that we've had this year for the athletic department.
Well, we've had so many, Rich, and we're not done yet, and we'll really have an opportunity to share with all of our fans kind of the total success that we've had as a department. When you talk about our fundraising and record amounts, our academic accomplishments, record levels. Just got the information back that our graduation success rate just went up 1 point, and it's now at 87%. We graduate 87% of our student athletes. Really rewarding things, but we've also been on the competitive side, been just outstanding. And we want to win championships. We want to at least be there to have a chance to win those championships, and did that a little bit. We still got a chance to do a few more of those before the year's out, and really proud of our student athletes and our coaches. I want to be, again, I'm very appreciative of our fans and all the support that they provide our programs, from buying season tickets, attending games, to being members of the Wildcat Club, to being so generous with scholarship gifts and major gifts for capital improvements here that have been critical and will continue to be critical going forward. It's a great program, and makes me proud to be part of it. I love that our staff is so committed to just serve our student athletes and our coaches to help them be successful. That's what we're all about. And part of that success is competitiveness and winning on the fields and courts and in the pools. And a big part of that is the academic experience, and then certainly the experience you have as growing as a young adult, being ready to move on and make your mark in the world. And that's what our program is all about. And those are the things that are terrific. But, I love to just go watch practice. I like to go watch Chip Hale and Caitlin hit fungos. I think that's great. Those are fun times too, as much as going to the event and going to a game and watching a big win here. Even in losses, I think there's great victories that can come out of those, and we get better because some of the challenges that we're faced with. And our program's really in a good place, I think, right now.
What about the future? I know that I hope you're going to take a vacation. I hope you're going to get a little bit of rest before we get going with fall training camp for football.
Well, hey, we're gonna try to find some time in here to take a little bit of time off. We've got a lot happening here, through the end of the month for sure, and hopefully it'll extend well beyond that. But we'll get a little downtime. But I think we talked about this last week. We're heavy in the planning mode for football next year in our fall sports. We actually have a kickoff meeting to really propose a number of things with our basketball programs and how we're going to work through those, the way we present our events, some new items inside the arena, different things. So it's always going on. It's really a 12-month-a-year thing. But we'll get a little downtime, and hopefully summer will be good to all of us, and we'll be ready to roll when we come back in August, that's for sure. But we don't close the doors. That's for sure. This place continues to operate throughout the entire summer.
I'm hoping you get a little golf in this summer.
Hey, we're going to try to do that. We'll get out early to do that. It'll be we'll find some ways to relax.
Okay,
I promise you.
Because I see you during the game, and I see how tense you get. I want you to get a little bit of a breather so we get back after it. I know that the football stadium is getting the resurface right now, so we've seen a lot of photos and posts on social media about that. Can you share anything? What are we going to look for that maybe we might be able to see for next season, or something to look forward to? I know we've got Mississippi State coming in next year for football. We got North Dakota State. Football starts on the road at San Diego State. There's going to be some changes as far as the turf goes, and like you said, inside McHale Center. I think there's a lot of things to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, there's certainly nothing broken, but we're excited about football. I mean, after a year under Jed's leadership, and we'll tweak a few in-game things. We will obviously a brand new turf field, nearly $8 million of improvement in the Lowell Stevens Football Center. And we've got some new things on the ground that we'll talk about a little bit later. Can't break that right now, but there's a couple of exciting things that are happening around football that we'll share in due time. But I think people will see maybe a couple of just shifts here and there. Great schedule, an opportunity to really good non-conference schedule, and then as usual, always a really good Pac-12 schedule. So chance for football, and we work with again, we have meetings with our concessionaire, all of our premium seat areas. We go in there and do a few renovations here and there, touch some things up, talk about the service levels and the service capacity, how we can better take care of our fans that come to the events. That's really what we want. Is we want an experience that people want to continue to return to, and we're looking to do those kind of things. And how we present a game. I think too often now it's too easy just to stay at home. And so we want to do as much as we can to make our games really exciting, fun, timely, so that people love to come back and cheer on the Wildcats in person, because there's nothing better than a full stadium or a full McHale. Makes a huge difference.
Well, I will tell you this for my part. It would take us another hour for me to talk about all the accomplishments of Arizona athletics this year, and all the coaches and everything that Tommy's done, and Adia's done, Jed's done, and all the coaches up and down the lineup. What men's tennis was able to accomplish, men's golf. We don't have time for all of that. But you made one promise to me last year, and you kept it. I'm going to bring that up as we close out the season. You made one promise to me. You remember, I don't know if you remember, you and I were standing at High Corbett Field, and it was during the regionals, and folks are like, I can't get water, I can't get food. You promised us that we were going to get better service, more food choices, and make it easier for fans to enjoy the game with the new concessionaire. Do you remember where we were standing in the concourse right there?
I do.
And you made that promise. And I will tell you, every event I went to and every fan I talked to, that was one of the biggest things, because we expect a certain amount of championship games here in Tucson and championship teams from this athletic department. That's a standard. But the fact that we saw 180 turnaround in the customer service, Susie Mason and her crew put everything together in all these events and all these different venues. I don't know how her staff does it, but the difference that we saw in the concessions and the customer service this year for Wildcat fans and season ticket holders, I don't think I've ever seen a 180 like that. And remember, I worked for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays when they transferred to be the Rays, and they were the biggest turnaround that you've ever seen in professional sports. Congratulations to your group and your concessionaires that you worked with. It was a phenomenal change from that conversation to the beginning of football to basketball on through baseball. It was phenomenal. I think everybody in Tucson saw that you said, I was going to make a change, I was going to make a difference, I was going to get better at this, and boy, did you deliver.
Well, Rich, I appreciate that. It's nice of you to say, hey, we're not perfect. We have lots of things we can continue to improve on. I'm very proud and pleased with our relationship with Aramark, our new concessionaire. We had a long-term, strong partnership. I don't want to minimize this with the union here on campus, and the capacity that they had and some of the challenges they had just it was time to do something different. And again, appreciate all that they have done, and we still work with them in a variety of areas that are really critically important to our program. But again, the experience, the opportunity inside of our venues to have a really good experience, and certainly food service, our concessions, our beverage services are important to that. And again, I'm not going to say we're perfect because we make mistakes, and we appreciate the feedback we get from our fans and our customers, and we take all of them very seriously. We want to bat 1,000, we want to bat 100%, we want to hit every shot, we want to do it perfect. But we don't. But I guarantee you, we will try to improve every time that we fall short. And that was an area I thought we were maybe falling short a little bit. And we have made a concerted, committed effort. It was a heavy lift, and this last year was really a challenge for everyone. And I only see next year being better in refining that service and refining the experience for our fans.
All right, Dave. Before we part for the summer, let me step aside for just a second and let you talk to the Wildcat fans.
Well, hey, Rich, I always appreciate being here on Tuesday with you. Thanks for providing this great forum. And again, I don't think there's anything else I can do but just say thanks to our fans for an incredible year and for their loyal, passionate support of our program. We couldn't do it without them. And, this is going to be a great finish to the year. But I hope everyone is as excited as what I hear around the community, what I hear from our former players, what I hear from everyone to get focused on football, and how exciting that's going to be. That rebuild will continue. I'm not going to promise 9, 10, 11 wins, but I'm going to promise, again, a team that you saw last year that never stopped playing hard, a team that will be better, a team of great young men, outstanding coaches and staff who are bringing solid winning football back. And then, it's just going to take off from there as we move on into, women's soccer and volleyball and into our basketballs, and we're going to do it all over again. We couldn't do that without great fans. So thanks, everybody, for your support and your belief in this program. Bear down and go Cats.
Dave Hickey, Athletic Director, University of Arizona. He's going to go on his summer break, which, again, I'm going to demand that he goes on vacation, gets some rest, gets reloaded, recharged, because we've got a lot of stuff to do come football season, and I can't wait to get that started. So, Dave, on behalf of all of us here at Wildcats Radio 1290, we're proud to be the flagship for Arizona athletics. We're proud to carry all the play-by-play action and to be the voice, to have the voice of the Wildcats. Brian Jeffries grace our air, and we're so proud to be associated with you in the athletic department. Thank you from all of us for one heck of a season this year with lots of drama, lots of excitement. It was the gamut, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So thank you to you and your entire staff for everything you've done, and I can't wait to get going next year for football.
Well, I appreciate that, Rich. Yep, we appreciate the partnership. Likewise, it's great to have partners like you in the community that really believe in the program. So thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Dave. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Dave Hickey. Bear down. Dave Hickey joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right. Wow, that was kind of cool, Dragon Ball. I mean, think about this. We saw everything under the sun. We saw heartache with the football team trying to pick up that first victory. We heard them get that first victory, and you heard Brian. He actually choked up when he called Arizona finally breaking that losing streak. We saw Tommy Lloyd's club show up, and nobody ever thought of them. They picked them to come in fourth in the Pac-12, and they end up getting a national ranking and make it to the Sweet 16 as a number 1 seed in one of the regions. We saw what Adia Barnes did, bouncing back with her basketball team. We saw Chip Hale take over, Caitlin Lowe. We've seen Arizona men's tennis winning the Pac-12 for the very first time. We've seen what women's golf has done, men's golf has done, volleyball. Dave Rubio gets a new contract. I keep going on and on and on, but it was one heck of a school year for the Arizona Wildcats. All right, I've gone way too long. Coming up. I got to look to see what we're going to talk about next. Oh, I'm going to bring up this goofy story. Dragon Ball, do you ever feel ripped off when you go get fast food?
Typically.
We'll talk about that next on 1290. Our thanks to Dave Hickey joining us here, Athletic Director, University of Arizona. Our guest, he joins us during the season every Tuesday, going a little bit of a hiatus, well-deserved. And I tell him that all the time. Guy works so hard. I see him at every event, flying cross-country, meeting, fundraising, everything that he does. They've done some heavy lifting over the last 2 years, so I hope he gets a little bit of rest before we get after it for football season. So, again, my personal thanks to Dave Hickey for joining us here every week, taking our questions, and giving us an update. And I will tell you this, athletic directors normally don't do this, where they do a weekly visit with their flagship, just keeping everybody apprised of what's going on within the athletic department. So I respect Dave for that tremendously because he hasn't missed anything. Come rain or shine, he's been with us every week. So we do appreciate that. Program brought to you in part by Trajan Wealth, 321-4100, 321-4100. You can go to TrajanWealth.com, TrajanWealth.com, TRAJAN Wealth.com. All right, summer's coming up. You're going to go out on vacation. You're going to go out and spend time with your family. Why? Because you work so hard during the year. When the kids are out of school, you want to spend some quality time. You want to take care of your family. That's why you also put money aside and invest it for your family's future. Now, you missed birthday parties this year. You've missed milestone events. You've missed your kids' Little League games. Why? Because you got to work hard to earn that money. You better take care of it. And the economic world is so topsy-turvy right now. The Fed has just raised interest rates. What's that going to do to your investments? What's that going to do for your financial portfolio? I have no idea. And unless you work in the stock market, I don't know if you know either. You need help. You need somebody who's going to be your partner. You need somebody who's going to sit down with you, talk to you about your goals, and then help you protect your money and grow your money. And that's what the folks at Trajan Wealth do. It'd be a shame for you to miss all of those events in your kid's life to put that money aside and then not protect that money. It would be foolish. Don't do it. Find somebody you can trust. Find somebody you can work with. Find somebody you can meet face-to-face with. And find somebody who's going to be on your team. And that's what the folks at Trajan Wealth do. Call them today, 321-4100, 321-4100. Don't be that guy that missed every Little League game on Saturday so you can work overtime, and then all that money that you put aside isn't there when you need it. 321-4100. Call Trajan Wealth today, 321-4100, or go to TrajanWealth.com, TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All right, coming up, I do want to go through this whole deal. By the way, Dragon Ball, that FanDuel came out with the over-under. You asked me about this. I double-checked because it's in today's Arizona Daily Star.
Right.
Arizona's over and under is 2.5.
Right. We were saying that they were the lowest. They had the lowest over/under in the conference.
And you asked about Colorado?
Yeah,
3.5.
They're at 3.5.
Yeah, so they're a full game better on the over/under put out by FanDuel's today.
And nobody else has the 2.5. It's just the U of A.
Just the U of A. Washington State was 4.5. Arizona 2.5. Where are they going to find 3 wins? We'll talk about that coming up at the top of the hour. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save the fast food thing for a minute because we're not going to have enough time for it. There's a guy that's suing. I saw the story. There's a guy that's suing McDonald's and Burger King because he says that his burger never looks like the one on TV. Did that ever happen to you where you go and you get like it doesn't look like what I'm ordering?
What is there's a movie about that, is there not? Well, there's not a movie about that, but there is a scene in a movie that is similar to that. I'm going. Okay, you know what? I'm going to look this up.
Which movie?
I don't remember the name of the movie.
Is this Pulp Fiction where Jules is looking at the Hawaiian burger with pineapple on top?
It's another movie. I gotta look this up.
You gotta look it up.
I know.
Right, we might
what
talk about this tomorrow on the program. Is this guy legit, or do we just have way too many lawyers in the world?
Probably the lawyers.
Or do you ever go, like there's times where I'll get a taco and I'm like, ugh, who made this taco for me? Because it's not the same one I got yesterday. Or I'll go get a burrito, I'll go get a burger, like, this doesn't look like what I really ordered. Or the other night, we went to a really nice dinner, and I ordered some prime rib, and I asked for it medium, and I got it in a shoe leather.
I remember what it is now.
What?
The scene in Falling Down, where he goes.
John Cusack?
Yeah, when he goes to get breakfast, and they're like, oh, we stopped serving breakfast 5 minutes ago. He orders the burger, and he looks at it, look at this. This is terrible. This is not what that picture looks like.
All right, we'll talk about that, because I want to know, is this guy a clown, or is he legitimate that this is what they tell me it's going to look like, but this is what I get?
Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Okay. The commissioner of the National Football League can make a really big decision. And no, I'm not talking about Deshaun Watson. I'm talking about postseason football, the Pro Bowl. Kill it or keep it? We'll talk about that next here on 1290.
This is David Ahmad, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 4:49. Former Arizona Wildcats center Christian Coloco has officially found his representation as he now signs with Clutch Sports ahead of the NBA draft. Congratulations to Christian. Wildcats Daniel Susak, Tanner Otremba, and Quinn Flanagan have all received high honors from the Pac-12 as each were announced as members of the All-Conference team this year. Adding to the NIL and recruiting drama between Alabama and Texas A&M, former Aggie four-star quarterback Eli Holstein has now flipped his commitment to the Crimson Tide. Chicago Bulls guard Zach LaVine successfully underwent knee surgery as he now prepares to become an unrestricted free agent this offseason in the NBA. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on The Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Our thank you to Dave Hickey for joining us a little bit early on the program. Did you see this story? Oh, by the way, the program today brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer and Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Topo Chico Ranch Water Hard Seltzer. The whole Topo Chico family's here with us today. Come on, say it once.
Topo Chico.
Just Topo Chico.
Topo Chico.
Topo Chico. It's like it's like in baseball, the word ho-ho-cam. If you say the word ho-ho-cam, you got to smile.
Ho-ho-cam.
No, ho-ho-cam.
Ho-ho-cam.
No, ho-ho-cam.
What is the ho-ho-cam?
Ho-ho-cam. It's where the Chicago Cubs used to play spring training. Now it's the home of the Oakland A's.
Oh.
Ho-ho-cam Park.
Ho-ho-cam. You sure it's not supposed to be ho-ho-cam?
I don't know what it's supposed to be, but Harry Carey called it ho-ho-cam. See, there you go. Now you smile. I was going to say,
well, no, the minute that you
be an alien if you can't say ho-ho-cam and not smile.
No, the minute you told me Harry Carey said it, I'm like, okay, I can't guarantee that that's a correct pronunciation if that's how Harry Carey pronounced it.
I broadcast games there for a long time, and it was ho-ho-cam. The Oakland A's at the Chicago Cubs. We traveled to Ho-Ho-Cam Park today. Welcome, everybody. It's spring training baseball. Ho-Ho-Cam. Yeah, it's probably Ho-Ho-Cam, but again, you just suck the fun out of everything.
Well, that's a legit like Indian tribe name, Ho-Ho-Cam.
Okay, but they call the park Ho-Ho-Cam.
Okay.
Again,
I see that word.
You know what? I figured this out. You're the guy who watches a movie and then finds everything factually incorrect to that movie.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I am that guy. I am absolutely that guy, and I am not afraid to go ahead and wear that cape proudly.
No, you wear a cape?
Yes. Someone needs to be the hero in that situation.
No, you're not a hero in that situation. You're taking away the enjoyment of everybody else. You're the guy who watches Citizens. Everything wrong with Top Gun in 20 seconds? No?
I mean, maybe, but I will say that honestly, probably one of the big ones.
It's Hollywood.
Doesn't mean that it can't be accurate. You can still be accurate and still be Hollywood.
There's movies and then there's documentaries.
No, you can still be accurate in movies. In fact, you should still be accurate in movies. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of people watching the Elizabeth the Golden era and think that that's actually how Queen Elizabeth's reign as Queen of England went. It's like, no, it's not.
I'm not trying to be educated. I'm trying to be entertained. If I wanted to be educated, I watch the Discovery Channel and watch documentaries.
Well, no, the worst one for that is the movie Apocalypto. That's a hugely inaccurate movie. I'm just telling you right now, man. If you're going to make a movie and you're going to make it about history, make it accurate. That's all you got to do. It's not like history's boring. You can still be factually accurate and not be boring.
All right, let's rock, paper, scissors to see whether I'm going to go down this Dragon Ball hole. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Scissors beats paper.
Yep.
All right, so what is Apocalypto?
Apocalypto was the movie that was made in looking at the history of the Mayan Empire.
Yeah, I missed that one on Netflix.
Well, a lot of people
didn't
did.
binge that.
A lot of people missed that one. It was
because it wasn't a good movie and it didn't entertain anybody.
Yeah, 2006. It was a 2-hour-long movie, and everything about it is historically inaccurate.
I've never heard of that movie. Was it in the theaters?
Yeah. Oh, it was a big deal for a while. It was a big deal in regards to the news press about it.
Oh, dear God, I need a drink. I'm thinking of drinking right now.
Oh, yeah?
I'm thinking of drinking. Can somebody find me a Topo Chico margarita hard seltzer or 2 or 3 or 4, and I'll Uber home. I always drink responsibly.
Yes.
I'll bite. Because you're talking about a movie that was 2006, so it's
2006.
16 years old. About what?
About the...
Was it like a real release? Like it was shown at every movie theater in America? Or was
It was direct.
Fartsy
It was
movies
direct.
you go see?
No. This was released in general admission theaters, and this was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was either directed or produced by Mel Gibson. Around the time where he was still like a big name in the directing scene and stuff like that.
I've never heard of the movie before. Are you going to tell me that Moneyball was incorrect?
No, Moneyball's an accurate movie.
Actually, it's not.
Well, in regards to the 20-game winning streak, that was accurate.
Art Howe never yelled at Billy Bean. It was the other way around.
Right. Oh, no, and they're going to make the... I mean, it's
Dave
similar
Justice is much better looking than the Dave Justice in the movie.
And it's similar to the situation that you have with, what was it, Winning Time with the Lakers. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take some liberties to try and make it more interesting.
So that's okay?
No, that's not okay. That's never okay. If you're going to make a movie...
You want all the movies to be documentaries then?
I would want movies that are based on historical incidents or historical fact to be at least as true to life as they should be. And that is at all times. Because I'll tell you something. In the Apocalypto, it threw me off that, like, oh, for some reason the Mayans have contracted smallpox even though the Spanish haven't landed yet. Guess what? That wouldn't have been possible.
What? You know, you're worried about what comes out of my sick, twisted head. I'm worried about what's coming out. That really bothers you that much?
Yes.
I've never had a movie bother me that much.
That's a big inaccuracy in the movie. That's a big inaccuracy. Smallpox came to America from Europe. There's no way smallpox would have been there beforehand.
It did. I've never lost a minute of sleep worrying about that.
I did.
Movie.
I did.
I mean, I don't want smallpox to get anywhere, but
right.
That movie just it sucked at your soul like that.
Yeah. Because it's a 2-hour-long slog, first of all, and then it's inaccurate on top of it. It makes it the worst thing ever.
I go to the movies all the time. I've never even heard of that movie. Give me another movie that's got you all fired up.
One that actually is very good and very historically accurate is Waterloo. That movie is fantastic. That is a fantastic history buffs movie.
Never saw it. Never heard of it.
Well, no, it's an older film. Admittedly, it's a much older film.
Do you see anything that's in HD? Do you ever watch anything in HD? Do you ever see anything that's actually come out in the last decade? What about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Was that factually correct?
No, because that's not based on a true story, Rich.
You mean tunes aren't real?
Not in the sense of reality.
Give me another movie. A historical movie. Midway. Was Midway okay?
Midway was no. That movie is...
What was wrong with Midway?
That one is just...
What was wrong with Midway? I love that movie.
That's a slog for a completely different reason.
Give me one thing that was just erroneous about Midway.
I think most of it was just related to the... Oh, wait, hold on. We're talking about Midway. No, hold on. I thought you were talking about Pearl Harbor for a minute.
No, Pearl Harbor was made up. Those weren't two real people.
Right. But
it's called the dramatic, inspired by.
But no, Midway's a good film in regards to history buffs. It's a good historical film that is very, if not true, accurate.
Okay, good. So I found a movie that's Dragon Ball approved.
Yes.
Maybe I'll watch that while I'm flying to New York on Friday.
Going to see Maverick?
I'm going to go see Maverick in Times Square.
Are you sure you're not seeing it tonight?
No, that's why I'm Father of the Year. Coming up next, what's the over-under for Arizona football according to Vegas? We'll tell you next here on 1290. Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coming up, in case you missed it, we had our end-of-the-year conversation with Dave Hickey, Athletic Director, University of Arizona. I was going to bring this up, and we'll get into it a little bit more tomorrow on the program. By the way, programming note for you, Arizona baseball takes on Oregon. Game 1 of the inaugural Pac-12 tournament gets going at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So you'll hear the game right here exclusively on 1290. 9 a.m., Brian Jeffries calls all the action. Arizona takes on Oregon live from Scottsdale Stadium. It's the first game of the first ever Pac-12 tournament. Real quick, I just wanted to bring this up. FanDuel's came up with the over-unders. What was that? Are you playing music in there? Are you playing air guitar in there?
A little air guitar in there.
Okay. They put out their over-unders for Pac-12 football. Arizona came in bottom of the bunch. 2.5 is the over-under. Will the Arizona Wildcats win more than... Will they get to a third win? Yes or no, basically, is the proposition. And right now, if you look through the schedule, Dragon Ball, can they get there? Give me 3 wins. San Diego State. That one's going to be tough on the road. I say a no.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Mississippi State. SEC team coming in here. Maybe if they cramp up. No, I'm not being I'm not being mean here.
No.
I'm not saying it's going to be tough for them to come out and play.
And the
on
heat
Saturday,
is a lot different.
On September 10th in the dry heat. They're used to the humidity down in Mississippi.
Yep.
Okay, but I think that's going to be a tough one. North Dakota State. They're the best football championship series team in America.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough win.
That's a tough out. Yeah.
California Golden Bears on the road.
They beat them last year, but that was in Arizona, so that's, I don't know.
Okay, so maybe a win there.
Maybe a win there.
Colorado.
That should be.
Here in town. That could be a win.
That should be a win.
Oregon. That's going to be tough.
That's a tough one.
Washington. On the road, tough.
On the road, tough, yeah.
USC. Tough. Utah.
You're talking about the reigning Pac-12 champion. That's
tough.
That's a hard out.
UCLA. In the Rose Bowl.
That's
tough.
That's a tough one.
Washington State.
Jaden Delores revenge game. I
can say that's a third win.
I could see that being the third.
Arizona State. Arizona State's going to be horrible.
You're going to hope that's a fourth.
That's a fourth. But you got to roll. Those are the 4 winnable games on their schedule.
There's a good lull in between there, between the games that we say that there's a good chance, and then that's a tough one. There's a good lull in the middle of there that it's
right. And you're assuming that California will be equally horrible as they were last year. Colorado, Washington State, that revenge game, and it could go both ways for Washington State. They could be the ones looking for the revenge. It could be Jaden looking for revenge. So that's going to be an emotional game. And then you've got Arizona State. So in order to get to the 2.5, you got to win 3 of those 4 winnable games on your schedule. That's going to be tough. We'll talk more about that this week. But I wanted to run that by you today on the program. All right, real quick, let me tell you today's program is brought to you by QC Kinetics. One of the most active part of the year right now in Tucson. The weather's great, right? We're used to this 100-degree weather. It's not 110 yet. Monsoons haven't come in. This is the best time of the year to live in Tucson. You can go swimming, you can go walking, go hiking, do everything. But if you have joint pain, you can't enjoy everything that Tucson has to offer. If you've got hip pain and knee pain and back pain and shoulder pain, it just sucks all the fun of living in Tucson this time of year. But I've got fantastic news for you. QC Kinetics is helping people right here in Tucson get back into the fun with advanced regenerative treatments from local medical professionals. Regenerative medicine is the hottest thing going. It's basically taking growth factors with healing properties from your own body and highly concentrating them and then putting them into your aching joints. From your own body, highly concentrated, and then you put them right back into your aching joints. This exciting in-office non-surgical treatment can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints, giving you real lasting relief from pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in these cutting-edge all natural options, and the patient satisfaction reports are incredible. They have over 100 clinics nationwide, including right here in Tucson. Yes, you can get real pain relief, get real relief from pain with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Stop putting it off. Call QC Kinetics right now to learn more about regenerative medicine and get a totally free in-office consultation. Call QC Kinetics right now. Here's their number, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. QC Kinetics Academy and Orange Grove. Here's their number one more time, 520-497-4955. Coming up, the big story of the day. I got a couple of them. I still got to figure out how much we're going to bet on the Warriors tonight. We'll do that next year on 1290. I had a whole thing of things that were the big stories of the day, like the Dubs are playing tonight with an opportunity to win, to go on to the NBA Finals, or the Pac-12 baseball tournament starts Wednesday, 9 a.m. You'll hear the Cats take on Oregon right here on 1290 with Brian Jeffries behind the microphone. I could talk about Top Gun being out today, and I'm such a good father. I didn't go see it without my son. I'm going to wait till I go see him this weekend for Fleet Week in New York City. We're going to go watch Top Gun in Manhattan. But I did have to get to this. I'm trying to figure out how much to bet tonight on the game. And you said it's a sucker bet to take the Warriors to even money, right?
I keep telling you, I get the feeling that they're going to at least give up Game 4. They're going to have to go to a Game 5 to close out.
How about this sucker bet? I just saw this today. Caesars Sportsbook. Someone put a $50,000 wager, $50K, on Dallas to win the Western Conference Finals over the Warriors at 30-1. Then he put $10,000 on Dallas to win the championship at plus 7,500. If he wins, his payout will be $2.25 million.
I don't care how
He'll
much
get $1.5 million if Golden State can win, and then if the Mavericks come back and win, he'll get $1.5 million, and then he'll get an additional $750,000, $750,000 if Dallas wins the title. 146 teams have gone to a 3-0 deficit. Only 3 have ever forced a Game 7. The 1951 Knicks, the 94 Nuggets, and the 2003 Trailblazers. And of the 3, New York came closest to winning, losing by 4 points to Rochester in Game 7.
Not scientifically possible.
Not in this life or the next.
All right, I'm going to bet $5 on the Warriors to win tonight. All right, coming up next, our conversation with Dave Hickey, our end of the year conversation with the athletic director of the University of Arizona. That's next here on 1290.